Another day, another dollar.
Couple things happen.
I'm trying to book, bro. Why can't I book?
Why can't you what?
Why can't I book?
You don't read enough.
Yeah. I do read, though. I know that's what fucking Earl told you.
What the fuck you reading?
Look over there, bro. I got big books over there.
Actually, yeah, you do read.
Camera can't tell.
Actually, you do read. Maybe that's why you have booked.
It all goes down to reading.
Yeah.
According to Earl.
No, literally it does.
Yeah?
Because you know why? Let me tell you. How much preamble can you do? Yeah, I'll tell you.
You ready to hear
ready
some
to hear
knowledge? Yeah, that's my buddy always does that. My buddy, since I've known him, whatever you ask him, and he's like the type who he's always doing competition math. Like if you do a joke, he's like, okay, so I lost this one, I gotta win the next. It's always like that with him. So if you ever say something to him like a joke, and he'll be like, "What?" He always says "what," and I call him out on that. I'm like, "You're just buying time to come up with a rebuttal right now." I'd be like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, "Dude, I heard you fuck your sister." He'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "TikTok."
And he's like, I actually do sleep with my sister.
You slept with yours first. Yeah.
I asked a couple in the audience last night. I was like, "How do you guys know each other?" And they were like, "We're cousins." So you guys ever kiss?
We thought about it.
And they were not happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna go there. If you have two cousins together, did they look dateable?
Yeah, that's the thing with family.
Yeah, you gotta ask that question.
Yeah, it's weird.
I would have asked. That was my first thought when you said that.
Kissing
I wonder
cousins.
if they kissed. I wonder if they kissed.
And they're like, "No, we fucked."
Like, yo, these guys are fun.
Jesus.
I didn't know we had Iraqis in the house today.
But I do know what he means about reading because I was reading this article yesterday about a Russian journalist. So I'm trying to read everything now. And my one buddy, he hates it because
Just a book.
Any article about anything. And you visualize it in your head, especially if somebody's describing it. He's like, I had to leave Russia during the war and all this stuff.
Like Cold War, we're talking now.
No, like now.
Yeah.
And he's gay in Russia,
Yeah.
which is like, no.
Which is just like a death sentence, right? That's like gay in Yemen.
They hate it. In Russia, there's like laws if you're gay enough. Because you can be gay, I think, on the down low. But if you're too gay, they're like, dude, come on. What are you trying to convince us?
And it's crazy because it's a very mustache-strong, like, culture, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen Stalin's stash? It's fucking powerful.
Actually, what's weird is if they studied history, because Zack Snyder went on Joe Rogan and he said that the 300 war, like those guys in 300, they were all gay.
It was all just about sex. If you actually go back and read the history,
yeah,
it was just about butt sex.
If Russians,
it wasn't about land at all.
No, if Russians are trying to be the best army, like, dude, suck a couple of dicks.
I mean, isn't that what the with the freaking drone footage showed? Was that the Ukrainians or was that the Russians? It's exactly what they're doing,
just
right?
making out.
No, they would get the.
I don't watch drone footage.
I have
the Ukrainians put a little grenade on. You guys showed me this, didn't you?
Not me, no.
Ukrainians wired up drones so they can take a little grenade on it and like they press a button and it like pulls the pin. And they went and they just found two Russians blowing each other, like Russian soldiers in the woods. Swear to God, it's on video. And then they just dropped the grenade and they both died.
That's so
crazy.
Rude. That's so rude.
Yeah.
Did the guy come at least?
That was my first thought. And were they cousins?
Yeah.
We're in the exact same train of thought. That's like, war. It's like, that's war, I guess.
That's
right?
so mean.
Hey, war is hell, bro.
That's so mean.
I mean, but when a grenade drops, I think you're just kind of done.
But why are you wasting ammunition on this? It's a valuable grenade.
Because they're Ukrainian, so it doesn't matter what they're up to, I guess. It's the fact that they're in uniform, so they're the enemy.
God damn it.
I mean, if you think about it, would you rather be like behind a tree knowing the enemy is around and then getting shot? Or just be
fuck, when you put it like...
you're just like, ooh, dead. The second one sounds a little better, doesn't it?
When you put it like that, yeah. Well, you don't want to be the guy blowing the guy.
Either way, you don't want to go out like that. But if you want to be in fear, I think the guy blowing the guy, they're both Russian soldiers. So the guy blowing the guy wanted to blow the guy.
Well, I mean...
I don't think the Russian soldier put a gun to the other guy's head and was like,
they
didn't
rock, paper, scissors for it.
Yeah. Maybe they take turns. Oh, maybe the one who really didn't blow was like, I'll blow first, but I better get after. So then it's truly tragic on a whole different level. Damn.
Well, one guy blew one guy, but they both exploded.
These are the questions. Yeah, exactly. They both came. They busted. It's just red cum.
This article, that tone of the article was not at all funny like what we did. It was just here. It was like, morbid and he was sad. But I could visualize his scenario. And Earl's like, if you want to cut your time down, read, and then you'll be able to put yourself more into these situations. And you're like, fuck, it is hard to be in Russia. The fucked up thing about this article is the journalist goes, I went back to Russia. Yeah. He leaves again at the end, but he's like, you go back because in Russia, it's all like, we're the best. Don't worry what the Americans are saying. It's all fake. They're all women, transitioning into women over there.
Russia's just like DJ Khaled.
Yeah. And then you leave and you get overwhelmed with the reality of the world. And you're like, actually, I don't want to know this. Like, my family has a life in Russia, and like they're just brainwashed, but they don't think they're brainwashed, so they're just living their lives.
It's like M. Night Shyamalan, that forest thing where they're like in the village or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, there's modern life across the thing. But like, I mean, that's a lot of ways I look at people that are deeply religious. Like, they're like, this life is a test. And you're like,
you don't want to hear that.
All right. You know what I mean? So it's like there's like 98% of life they're not willing to. And you could argue that 2% of life they are experiencing is life at its core. Family, food, whatever the hell. But it's like, if you write off everything, like I've never gone to the red light district and like hired a hooker and stepped into that room in Amsterdam. But I've never been in my life like, that is an absolutely forbidden locked door, right?
Well, I mean,
I walked.
If you're smart, it shouldn't be forbidden.
Well, I've looked at them, and I've been there. And no part of me was like, go in that room and fuck that woman. I'm like with my buddy, once like, I have to fuck that woman who's just standing, walking by.
Sounds like you didn't have enough cash.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know. Apparently, it's pretty affordable.
He has every piece of information except fucking one.
I'm just afraid before I nut, a grenade's going to fall from a drone. Oh, no, fuck you. The Ukrainians. I'm not rushing up.
You think when you die, you go to the afterlife in the exact scenario that you died in?
If life is like a movie, like life was written by whoever wrote The Mask and Flubber, yes. And like Robin Williams is right there. Relax, you're dead. You're alive. He's just got a rope around his neck.
Imagine you died in Hiroshima.
You take that off yet?
You died in Hiroshima, and you're just like,
you just come back. Yeah!
You're like, whoa! And then
holy fuck!
Robin Williams is like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not bad. I wonder though. I wonder about that type of stuff.
I mean, yeah, fuck.
Do you believe? Do you believe
in an afterlife?
Yes. I
hope. I don't know if I believe. I don't think there's really time value.
I don't know, man. I think
time.
Yeah, the idea of an afterlife kind of scares you because it's for eternity. I walk Gunner through the cemetery so much. I think about this shit like
eternity.
Every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather just stop existing and just be in the soil. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. And if there's something else great after that, or whether you go back in and you go for another ride, I don't know how it works, but the idea of existence just stopping is actually very comforting, rather than you go to heaven and you get whatever you want until all of time. You're like,
Well, because you have a consciousness for so long.
Like, give me a 911, air cooled, okay? And you just drive it for a couple of days.
Like, yeah, this is boring. Okay, this is boring.
What happens now, guys? Now you get a Ferrari. Okay, then what?
Well, it's just because you think of your consciousness, so you're trying to think of dying. You're like, am I going to be bored in death? You're like, yeah, dude, you're not going to know.
You're not, exactly. You just stop. There's rappers that I love. I don't know who the talk was, but there's so many old British professors who talk about the topics of philosophy and stuff. They're like, the very self ceases to exist in the times. The question of does the afterlife exist is the wrong question. And then rappers always sample that shit. Yeah. And then it's like, the wrong question. I just heard one was like, it's simply the wrong question. When the ceasing of life, and back then you could just, that's like, Jordan Peterson is like from a different time. He's from that time.
Makes you wonder where they came across that lecture. Like, why is Future listening to...
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Like, because these producers are digging deep in the archives for some, like, British...
Yeah. They're the ultimate acting students.
Is
like rap producers. They're like, dude, I found this page from 1879. We're going to sample it. You're like, what?
That's what they're looking for. They're just looking for things that happen.
That would actually be a good song, though. Hear ye. Just a beat drops.
Yeah.
Probably find it on some.
Hear ye.
That exists for sure.
Drizzy.
I can't believe how just starkly Kendrick won.
What's that? Go to the top. Who's that? Abandon all fucking hope. Ye who enter here.
Abandon all fucking hope.
This
is
girl
a profile.
spends. That's that. How come when you do plastic surgery, the faces
look.
converge to the exact same face? Every plastic surgery face looks like that face. Chief Keef put one out.
It says "Hear ye."
Press
it.
play on the top just
Hit
to see
it.
if there's a sample.
Sounds like there might be.
Oh, 5 years ago. Stay faded 505. Bro, I'm gonna chase by a cop.
Oh, I wanted it right in the beginning,
I know,
but
me
let's
too.
see. We'll see. All right. Lot of build up.
Yeah.
You hear it?
But this is what I was going for.
Yeah, no.
I've been thinking that.
Nah.
Like, do you know like Trippy? You know Trippy by Anderson .Paak?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
where
how
he
he
plays that
samples,
comedian.
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield. Yep. I know exactly.
Like,
what
that's
you're
how
talking
I
about.
like it.
Yeah.
He's like, never been ladies, man. One time this lady told me to come over. She said nobody's home. I went there was nobody home. And then that song comes on. So
Kanye does it with Love This.
Kanye's a master
Love
of
this.
these samples.
There's a black female comedian he samples.
My
She's like-
freaking neighbor downstairs, the guy that lives John downstairs, this guy, he skips the dish every meal, three meals a day.
That's
Every day. Every day there's 3 motherfuckers walking.
At least he doesn't have to do dishes.
Ooh! We'll be right back after these messages. And then he plays your commercial.
Every day it's DoorDash.
Every single day. It's whoever it is, Uber, whatever. But like all the meals. I'm like, damn.
That's expensive.
That's very expensive.
Yeah,
but then I'm
very.
also like, if you...
You're also eating more. When I buy my own groceries, I don't eat 3 meals a day.
I know, but like I'm thinking, I think that's on some level. I think that's when you made it. When it's like, when I'm saving, I'm doing all this smart shit that I should be with my money, but I also just get to buy every meal. Like, if you enjoy cooking, then sure, and do your thing and cook how you want to cook. I don't mind cooking, but the idea that I get to have every meal brought in, that to me is like you made it.
I want the chef.
Like a $75 daily budget, like you're on some stipend.
Even if I made 80 grand a year, I would
Can't,
somehow
like with that 80 grand.
I would try to figure out how to be like, okay, how much does a chef cost?
Was it 80 grand?
Try to. I mean, I can't have them every day, but
You know,
weekends.
Big Norm used to be Sean Paul's chef.
What?
No, not Sean Paul. What's his name? Shaggy. He used to go like and be all these guys chefs in the Caribbean, like these big soca stars.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he says Shaggy was a fucking prick to him. Yeah, apparently Shaggy would just come down and be like, Chinaman, fix me up this and that. He would call him Chinaman.
That's what they call people like that in Jamaica, though.
Yeah.
Chinaman.
China.
But it's like all the other stars he's working with learn
Yeah.
his name, or they call him chef. You know what I mean?
Or they call him chef.
Yeah, there's also
And
that.
Big Norm's Filipino as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter as far as they're concerned, right?
He's also from a time where those were the names you gave people, the opposite shit. You know, like Big Norm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now he's bringing in Norm Alcancel, which last time I had him on the immigrant section before it ended was he's like trying to bring that in. Which I've seen a lot of our friends, our colleagues, whatever
With
do.
names?
Yeah, Black Zeus, Mike Demis. Obviously, you got like Big Norm, like I just said. Jam Easy wants to be James Cummins. At the beginning, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You're like, this name is gonna help, especially when you like open mics or whatever. But then eventually, I think the power. Someone actually told me to do a stage name a long time ago, and I'm like,
Well, I mean,
oh,
technically, your name is a stage name. It's just your name.
yeah, but a different stage name is what I obviously meant.
Finn Guire. I'd love that. There's actually a guy I met. his name's-
Technically, epidermis means skin. He's like, well, thank you for that.
I met a comic. His name's Finn Bodie, but he had like some crazy Dutch name. It was like Finn Bjorkenskorkemjomt. He
That's
literally
fine.
had
But
sounds.
it sounds like
that.
a name.
No,
As long
no,
as
no.
you
He
switch
shortened
to a
it to
name.
Bogey.
Yeah.
But the real one was like, it sounded like a Swedish guy.
Like, you know,
trying to
Faris,
fuck.
he goes Faris Hitaya. His last name was like Hisham Abdelmajid something, some long
Yeah,
Sudan
yeah,
name.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he made that Hitaya. But
Hitaya.
that's all fine. That's like a good move. But I'm talking about being like
Yeah,
Jordan the Great.
Yeah.
Yo, give it up for Jordan the Killer or Jordan
Some
Jordan
shit-
the Bomb Dropper or
think-
some shit that.
I think I used to think in my mind that you needed to change your name if it was like hard to say. But then I realized that some names are like illegible. Like that Bjorgensen guy, his real name or Hatia's real name. It's like no, I literally just
Hatia was
it can't
just
work.
too many names, so it can't work.
It can't work.
It's like SKA in like the NBA.
Oh yeah, we talked about him before.
Yeah, like
even
his name. Yeah, his name is like wraps around his jersey.
Yeah, he's got
There's
half the McDonald's
shorts.
logo.
Yeah, he's got 5 letters on the shorts. Like his name is freaking crazy. Is he like
Shea
Sierra
Gillis
Leone or
Alexander.
something? Where's this guy from? What is his name?
I don't know.
Anyway, like these type of names,
Yeah.
they are rough. And Giannopoulos or something. Like they were like Giannis
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo. Like they're like at the beginning, no one knew how to say that shit.
No.
Yeah.
Even at the beginning, I remember people didn't know Idris Elba's name.
Yeah, people didn't know Khabib's name.
Khabib, now everyone's like Khabib Nurmagomedov. No one even stumbles Nurmagomedov, you know?
Nurmagomedov.
Well, just see
There
what
we go.
happened.
Fuck you.
Did you see what happened with SGA over here? Because Jokic won the MVP again, and then Shaq, who, by the way, I think Shaq is such a...
By the way, Shaq posted a thing on Shannon Sharpe. I clicked comments. I saw you love the video.
Yeah. Shaq is such...
Explain. He's such a pussy,
such
right?
a bitch.
I know. He's like, stop not looking at me.
Well, Shannon's just saying like, yo, you're...
Shannon's number 151, number 51 of the NFL top 100 of all time. That's an accolade.
That's
bro.
an accolade.
That's an accolade.
That's G14.
To not even to be in it is amazing. To be number 51 in it is amazing. If you're not top 10 in your shit forever, Shaq.
No.
I mean, I guess you're top 10 right now. In 5 years, you're not top 10 anymore. Like,
Well, the problem with Shaq is he has to talk about his career in a very specific lane, which is I am the most dominant player ever, and he has to use the word dominant.
yeah, and the metrics are like backwards broken. and shit like that.
Well, no,
right?
he has crazy stats.
No,
and
he has. Obviously, it's Shaquille
And if you
O'Neal, right?
you pull
He
up
has mad rings.
pull up his stat or his highlights.
He's
and
got,
then
3 or 4 rings?
He has 4 rings.
Yeah, so
But
obviously...
to say to Shannon Sharpe for making the comment, because on his show, he is on TSN or whatever, TNT.
Are you talking to Shannon or Shaq?
Shaq.
Right now? Yeah.
Shaq said to Jokic, and you can turn the sound off. And young Shaq, if young Shaq stayed in the shape of young Shaq, Shaq would have been the greatest basketball player of all time. But
That's a
he
lie.
said to Jokic, you
If
shouldn't.
Anderson Silva his shin didn't break, he'd be a great fighter, you know? Like,
But Shaq's was so like in his control.
so he says what the...
He just says to Jokic, congrats on winning the MVP, but I think SGA should have won it. No disrespect. And Shaq just takes himself way too seriously. It's like, first of all, you don't even play in the league anymore.
For 20 years.
Nobody cares what you fucking feel.
So he said... So these are just his top 50 plays?
These are probably, yeah.
Okay.
So then he says to Jokic, no disrespect. Jokic takes it nice. He's like laughing. And then Shannon's then talking on his podcast. Yeah, just Shaq is kind of probably a little jaded because, Shaq could have been the greatest ever to touch the basketball, but he just was lazy. He got fat, didn't have to do that much because he was literally 2 times bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's literally comments on this shit like he's still in the league. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but doesn't he have like that talk show like where he's on with all those
He's
guys?
like a sports panelist.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to give his opinion on anybody that says anything about Shaq. Also, Shaq's relationship with women, like these dudes will go on podcasts and Shaq will be like, never tell a woman how you feel.
Oh, so they should use that against it in the future.
Should use it against you in the future. It's like, do you realize how fucking insecure and crazy you
Oh,
are?
I know. That's what Monique... Did you listen to Monique on this? She's like, how am I going to listen to the advice? And I love you, Shaq, but you got no one in your life. Who are you talking to at night? Who are you comforting?
you got nobody in
Who do
your
you
life.
tell your secrets, your dreams? Who do you lay in bed with
Yeah.
that night? I was like, damn, Monique, holla.
What do
She
you-
had that motherly grandma level, wisdom and knowledge. But she's right, and she said it right on the spot. It wasn't even like she had to come up with this. But it's true. It's like Shaq has just stayed in this, like... Shaq is in this space of kind of like... I don't even know who else... Snoop Dogg a little bit, I guess. It's kind of like their Easter eggs. You know in the games where there's an Easter egg, like a side thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's a fun one. Shaq is kind of that of Hollywood. Just like always there. in every commercial. Like,
He's the
fully
Epson,
leveraged. His brand is leveraged maximum. There's
Shaq is the
10,000 brands.
Epson printer like spokesperson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
just
19
fill
and
and
the
chill.
brother printer and the HP
just
printer.
fill and
bro.
chill.
Yeah, just fill and chill. I remember that one.
I think it's brother or Epson or whatever. But you
thought-
can tell that clearly Shaq is hurting because
I know.
anytime anybody
I know.
gets a piece of anything in the NBA,
Yeah.
he shits on them.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Everybody.
It's kind of like when George Lopez, when Ralph Barbosa started blowing up, and George Lopez was like, "Don't say his name."
Wait, what was that? When was this?
Because they say for a long time they say Mexican stars or Mexican people in showbiz, a hit against them is that they always keep themselves down. They only allow one of themselves up. They don't pick themselves up. Like the Fluffy doesn't take
Other acts.
Iglesias. What's his name?
Gabriel.
No, Gabriel Iglesias is Fluffy. Who's the other one with the long hair?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's great. His fucking name, man.
He's a big guy too.
Yeah, he's a stoner comic. Hilarious.
Oh,
That guy.
yeah.
God, I feel fucking.
Pedro?
No, not Pedro.
no,
They could keep.
no.
Famous.
Isn't it-
Type in famous Mexican.
Isn't it
comedian.
I know
Pedro?
exactly who you're talking about.
I know. I can see his face.
The
dude.
guy, yeah,
And his
he-
hair.
He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's pretty much looks like.
I think he has a joke about bidets and using.
Mexican comedian. Keep going down. Wow, look, it brings up Rafi.
This guy.
Yeah, my brother Felipe Esparza.
Felipe Esparza,
Yeah, Esparza.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's my guy right there.
The AJ Bate of the Latinos.
Exactly. He now is touring with all these guys, but they say that like for Mexicans always keep the other guy down. They'll never be like, you got to look out for this guy, Philippe. He's on the come up. Like they never do that. So they were talking about how Ralph Barbosa was blowing up when his Don't Tell blew up on YouTube, and like people are saying, and the one guy's like, so what do you think about this, like Ralph Barbosa? And George Lopez was angry, even said his name on the thing. He goes, don't say his name, like you're giving him this shine right now on this
Damn,
platform.
that's
But
fucked.
then apparently, then Barbosa goes on flagrant and they talk. They're like, "Yo, man, George Lopez is hating on you." And then apparently George Lopez called him, got his number after that, apologized to him, and they're cool now or whatever. But it's like his gut instinct was to be like, "Fucking, I'm the guy still." And George Lopez is at this time he's nicely into his 70s, is he not?
It's over. Yeah.
But he's nicely into his 70s.
I think so, yeah.
And he's been top Mexican for decades, right?
Decades.
Top Mexican.
Seriously,
Decades,
right?
decades.
Top Mexican.
he had his own show.
Yeah, he had his own sitcom,
63.
his own show, the best
Yeah.
touring comedian,
And the
arenas.
George Lopez, the show was actually hilarious.
And George Lopez, the name is if you had to do one name of Mexican comedy, it would be George Lopez.
George
It would-
Lopez.
that's easier than that question in white comedy, black comedy, anything.
Yeah.
Like George Lopez just has such a big gap between, and Fluffy. Fluffy now is obviously still in the thing of like really touring, and he's even more of a draw. Like
He's
he does
humongous,
like
that
he
guy.
does, and you're not just talking weight.
No,
right?
like his fucking shit.
yeah,
is
Dodger
huge,
Stadium,
yeah.
2 shows, bro. That's like 100,000 people.
He took a big fine for that because they went over time.
Yeah, he took $100 grand fine.
He'll eat that all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna put 100 in your city.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to. I love that.
It feels
you
crazy.
have an unnatural allegiance to losers.
It feels crazy that that's how this year kicked off, and then it was just diss track.
Every
Gary
time-
Owens' kids don't fuck with him. You're like,
If I ever
Jesus.
do a podcast, it's like Gary Owen. I'm listening
That was on
to-
Shay Shay.
Was he on Shay Shay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about his kids. And
Was he a good episode?
Yeah.
I'm listening to him right now on Whiskey Ginger. He's like, I just came from Shay Shay. It's completely different. But now anytime I do a podcast, I'm gonna have my side body to the camera and I'm gonna drink like
And there's always those like hands in the middle of your thighs.
yeah, and he goes and he'll be like at a time when
How do I answer this question?
I had left my family, when they had told me that I could not have a voluptuous pussy, I was out. You're like, what? At 14? And then like they told you. The whole like religion out of it. I get it, just like being from a super religious family, but it's like just the way he fucking just sets up. He does it. And by the way, I've opened some. It's funny when you listen to these type of podcasts because this other girl came on that my girl was listening to. Some people talk to who they're podcasting, like they talk. And this other bitch that my girl was watching, she's like
Talking
to the camera and then like talking to Shannon a little bit, but then being like, listen to this.
Oh, you're talking about Amanda Seales.
Yeah.
Oh.
You watched that, right?
I know. I saw like some guys do a breakdown.
But I'm like,
People been hating on her. Like,
yeah, and you could, as soon as like, I didn't even know who she was until I watched that, but she's got that very like masculine energy.
Yeah.
As a woman, people are gonna hate on that. Well, nothing against her energy. I was just like,
well, you
when
haven't
you do
seen
a podcast,
you haven't seen enough of her. Like she was on.
No, but I could
Breakfast
tell.
Club
I could
and,
already
like,
tell what
she
they're
got kicked
saying.
off her show. Oh my!
I could tell what they're saying, but it's like just in the episode, I'm like, why are you talking to the camera? Like I get like the people are watching, but like look at Monique. Monique does not look at the camera once.
Yeah.
Until she's saying a message to the people.
She doesn't audition either.
Yeah, exactly. And she books roles. Like that's an unpracticable thing.
I was talking to somebody on the way to Kitchener though about Monique specifically. Like if she did audition, she probably would have been the biggest actress.
I mean, again,
She's so talented. Like
weight, or are we talking?
no, like she probably would have been. Yeah, they're all thick. She would have been so. She probably would have been one of the best black actresses because she's so talented. Like it's if she just. Tried
I've never
harder,
seen The Color Purple. Have you?
Yeah,
I heard she's amazing. In it.
she's amazing. In it.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Club Shay Shay, I love it, but it's getting to the point now.
You cannot
too
go
many
on there.
ads.
Yeah.
He's bleeping out swears. So Gary Owen, every time he said shit or fuck, it was bleeped out.
Oh, because he's trying not to fuck the money up.
I'm like, damn, man, this sucks. And the ads are like a minute,
I know they are long.
and they're like
Go-
sports betting.
Yeah, exactly. Are you betting what? And then I love at the end. If you have a problem with betting, please call 1-800. I have a problem with betting.
My name is Shannon Sharpe. I'm the sole proprietor of Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, right. Sole proprietor. I love it. Drink my whiskey, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
or whatever that.
everybody,
cognac.
nobody sits
It is very strong with taste,
at that level of rich. Everyone's like,
high quality
well,
ingredients.
we can't make our own chairs.
Yeah.
You're like, why? Just buy chairs. Everyone's like, no, make our own chairs. We're gonna make our own booze.
Wait. Did he make the chair?
No, it's just like
But-
everyone's making their own shit.
I know, but when I
Liquid
watch it,
death,
I'm like,
dude.
who
We drink
made
our
that
own
chair?
water.
Why is that the chair? It looks so fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The back is
Those,
like
like,
a
sectionals?
diagonal. It's like, I'm like, why is that the chair?
Those look like booths you wait in before they bring you to your table.
Exactly, at the keg, right?
yeah, you're just like,
you're half seated in them, like just
Don't get
like,
too
Don't get
comfortable.
comfortable.
Yes.
They're calling us any second. But you know what? This beef has taught us that we gravitate. All of humankind gravitates towards negativity over positivity. When people, it's just what it is, man.
Positivity is just more. It's not as ongoing. It's finite. You're good. You know, negativity is like there's something wrong with you. What? What is it? What is wrong with you?
Like
There's
if-
so
when
much detail.
That's what I liked about who came on right after. It was on that show specifically. Monique talks shit. Cat Williams obviously did the whole thing. Does Gary? Oh, Godfrey, I didn't listen to. I didn't.
Gary
watch.
doesn't really talk
Godfrey just
shit.
does a lot of impressions, right?
No, it's kind of just like.
Oh, and he says the industry won't let him be like a celebrity, which is
sort of, yeah.
which is very true. He's
It's
been
kind of
in-
just an interview of Godfrey, like just him talking, asking him about his family's background.
Okay,
blah,
so
blah,
then
blah.
I want to watch that. I wish there's more of that. See, I didn't even watch that. Like, just like I want, because I listened to Godfrey on so much stuff. I'm like, if you're not coming on to unpack hatred, I kind of heard. I've heard you talk.
I think that with Shay Shay, they're sort of taking the Rogan approach. The problem with his show is it's not just Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay is like a whole thing. They have other.
It's a network, yeah.
Yeah, they have like nightlife where they talk about sports specifically, and so he's very much emulated the Rogan model.
Yeah.
Because now he's gonna go like, hey, who are all the people that I like? Let's interview them so the audience knows who they are, and then we can bring them back again and again and again. So you're like,
The Duncan Trussells.
yes, the Joey Diaz, like they're literally doing that with these
The
people.
Tom Segura.
Which, by the way,
Brennan Schaub.
Tom and Bert on the roast. Did you see them on the roast? The Tom Brady.
I
roast?
saw them sitting there, and I'm like, I had some thoughts about that. Did they go up and do
They
roast?
go up, yeah, and they do like a little thing. It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
3 hours for that roast was.
That's too much. By the way, I
way
gotta
too
know.
long.
Did they mention Porosos?
No,
when they were up there?
No,
They did not.
It was unedited, right? It was live.
Yeah. You feel it, but
Yeah.
I was wondering if they mentioned it.
No, they didn't mention it.
I'm like, no way, they're not gonna mention it. They probably weren't allowed or something, because I think the way that's being pushed on my Netflix and everyone I know is talking about it. This thing is on number one for everyone's Netflix. Like everyone with
yeah.
Netflix watch that roast and they clearly put a lot of money behind it.
The only thing you couldn't talk about was Robert Kraft. I guess Brady specifically asked for.
Who's that?
He's the owner of the Patriots.
Someone made some jokes. I remember they pointed to
Jeff Ross, and then
Yeah.
Tom Brady went up to him. He's like, "Don't say that shit again." Like live there.
He made fun of Robert Kraft.
Because Robert Kraft has he's going through like a sexual allegations case
Yeah.
with like ladies and stuff in the office and shit. And
Put up a picture of Robert Kraft.
Jeff Ross makes a comment about when Brady got drafted. He goes up to the office and he asks him if he wants a massage because he's all like touchy feely. And then Brady goes, "Don't say that shit again about Robert Kraft."
Yeah.
Robert Kraft also at the end, they do like a shot Bill Belichick,
11 billion worth, huh?
and he's like shaking. doing
All those
shots.
old white guys look exactly the same. I saw his face. I just pictured him being like, "You can fuck him, just don't bring him to the game."
Yeah.
like
that
on
is
the
that
left.
though. That is that.
like
That's
This
that
is-
same
him
face.
going up on stage.
So Robert Kraft, they take a
Tom
shot
Brady
near
roast
the end.
participants were told not to joke about Robert Kraft's massage
Yeah.
scandal, says comedian Andrew Schultz. Oh, Schultz just straight up said that.
No. Schultz was saying
said
that
that
there
on
was
Flagrant or
we were asked not to do this.
Yeah.
But Robert Kraft at the end, he says, "Putin, give me my fucking ring back," because
Go down
Vladimir
a little
Putin
bit.
literally took Robert Kraft's Super Bowl ring when he met him. They like met in a thing, and Putin's like, "Oh my god, that ring is so
It
cool."
took Robert. Oh, it was Robert Kraft.
Yeah, so he's
and
like,
he never gave it back.
He's
right?
like, "Let me see it," and
Yeah.
he gives it to him, and he's like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." And then Putin just puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
And then the
It's
guy
power.
goes like, "You can't. They'll literally kill everybody right now."
Yeah, that's power. That's like the Simpsons episode where he goes, "Oh, can I see it? You can trust the president of Cuba, $1 trillion bill.
It might
can I have
be-
it back? Have what back?"
It might be though that they just like believe it over there because, to be honest,
But the owner's the
the
only one I don't
Secret
care.
Service of Robert Kraft could probably just have fucked those guys up as easily as the Russian dudes. Like, who's trained? Like, what are we talking about here? Just hand-to-hand combat over this Super Bowl ring? Well, okay.
No. But it's like the fear. It's not even
No, it's-
who has the
you're
actual
right.
physical
You're
ability.
right.
But in a room of like, did any of you watch or One Piece? Does anybody here know anime terms? You know what hockey is? It's like fucking aura and strength.
Okay.
Strength of aura.
Yeah.
Putin has the ultimate hockey in the room. It doesn't matter if he's standing alone and you have your whole security. He puts it in his pocket.
Yeah. You're
It's like
this
you
is-
know, and all of your detail, like your security detail, they know
So-
that it is gone.
And Robert Kraft had to say, "I gave Putin the ring as
Of
like
course.
a show of." But then at the roast, he's like, "No, give me my fucking ring back. If you're watching this, give me my fucking ring."
Oh, Robert Kraft was at the roast?
Yes.
Oh, and he said that to Putin?
He said it. He's like, I don't know if you're watching this, but give me my fucking
Did
ring.
people laugh?
Yeah.
But what's funny is, like, of all the guys that can have their ring taken, that's the one I care the least about because he's in the easiest position.
Oh
They're
my
like, have her
god, yeah.
another
Just
ring, man.
get another one.
Another, like, you know, if you're like on the team and be like,
But-
"Oh, I met a president and they took my ring," and then you got to go through the team's admin person the owner is like, just have another ring made.
But
You know
I get in sports when you get the ring of the championship
it's the real one.
to
right?
just remake it. I get there's like a little.
I know, but he's the Patriots owner. How many
Yes.
rings does he have?
It's like
yeah,
you
but
fucking.
is it that ring from that year that
True, yeah.
something?
if they have
It's not like
one,
he
if they
caught
have
a
one
fucking
Super
pass.
Bowl, sure.
True.
They
yeah.
have so many. Have another
do,
one.
yeah.
It's just a collection. Replace that one. He has a
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
How long has he owned
but
the
it's
Patriots?
not
The whole
that
time, I
one
think.
though.
Huh?
for a long time.
Like decades?
Yeah, I think so.
So he's got what? Over six?
Rings? Yeah, they have 7. 6, I think.
But that's just Tom Brady's like era. Like
6,
he owned
yeah.
it before that too, right?
I think all the championships that New England has won is with Tom Brady.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even win before him.
Correct.
What a legend! What a legend! Come on now.
But
Let's have
Anthony
fun.
Jeselnik, who used to do the roast with Comedy Central a lot, he had a thing where he said the reason Jeff Ross did that is because most roasts are edited, and there are always things on a roast that you're not supposed to say. Everyone gets a list of things that they don't want mentioned.
So he's like,
and
oh.
Jeff Ross every single time
Hits
mentions those
Yeah.
because he's the roast master, and like that's his brand. And most of the time, those are edited out, and then they're cherry picked as stories. Then like that feed the Ross thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had it in there, but it wasn't cut out, so it was like a little
Gotcha. Is it like
because you can clean all that
And
up.
he came up with a
he
OJ
goes to
glove.
that list right away, right? Like you give me
Probably,
what's the things
yeah.
that I can't talk about? That's where my roasts are.
They're literally giving him the material. pretty much,
Don't talk about his massage scandal. Okay.
I
let's
thought that
open
Tony
with that.
Hinchcliffe had the best roast of all time.
Yeah.
I thought his section.
I thought Nikki Glazer's was better, man.
Yeah, my one friend said that too, but
Hers was like objectively incredible. That was like incredible. Like everything was so dense. Like I know you like the oh hell nah is it, right?
but that's just so like it's so smart,
Creative.
It's so smart and on the nose. Like Nikki
pussy.
wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but it's
It was
like
incredible.
it's like saying what she talked about most was her sexualization in comparison to how attractive Tom was.
No, not most. That was the ending of her.
It was like 25% of the undertone. Like every time Tom is told something he can't do, he always makes sure he goes and does it. So I'm here to tell you tonight, he cannot make me come.
But that was just the ending.
But she also had another one about like he's so hot, I can't believe standing beside him. And like she had a few things there, so it thematically had a little bit of a thing to it. Tony had individual jokes of the highest order for each person.
Oh no, they were great. Like
They were insane.
Tony smashed.
And to a point where Kevin goes, "That was."
Yeah, the all hell nas it. Yeah.
And the audience literally stood up.
He's
for
like,
Tony.
"Fuck you." Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, well, they gave Nikki a standing.
His
O, too.
Bert shit was crazy.
Oh, that was incredible.
You're
The
a king,
Yeah.
who looks like he eats at Burger King with a liver like Martin Luther King that got beat up by Rodney King.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It was,
and
and
then
every
Schultz started hitting him because it was so good.
But every
He's
joke
like,
was like that caliber. It was fucked.
But when Nikki got
Kim, close your legs. You have more public beef than
Drake and Kendrick, yeah.
It's like every
Oh, it's
single
great. It's
thing
great.
he said.
He got a standing O.
Nikki's jokes about Gronk though were fucking hilarious too.
Me know
know
that
that
real
not
money.
real money.
Her Kevin, she's like, I'm gonna keep this Kevin Hart. Like she had like keep it short.
Oh.
She just went in on Kevin Hart. Like everyone went in on Kevin, but he was hosting it, so and he
did really good,
And he's
actually.
super successful.
Yeah.
So it's like the obvious target. But
I love they separated like they had like Tom Brady and all the people that have like real money on one side, and then like the comedy money on the other side.
I was like, I told you to not bring those. I told you to leave out the podcasters. Those fucking.
I did think Nikki was amazing, but I literally think that was one of those moments where you ever watch a Grand Slam in tennis?
Yeah.
So in this tennis era, we have Nadal, we had Federer, we have Djokovic. It's like Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. They're literally both legends in those moments, but one person has to win. And I think Tony's, like that will do so much for Tony's career.
I don't think so, man. Kill Tony did fucking like 2 shows at Madison.
Yeah, and
No,
they did the
I
Kia
mean-
Square Garden.
They did the Kia Forum yesterday as well.
No, I mean,
Yeah, he's doing
I mean-
arenas.
I mean, like it's all converging onto like, you know what happened with Schultz?
Yeah.
Like you're coming up, people are starting to solidify it. Then you have another moment that's like double down on how good you are.
Yeah.
That was that for him. He's like, okay, this is why Kill Tony's so great, and then this is why I'm the person that has made it so amazing.
Yeah, he's a great roaster.
Yeah, it was
He's
like
incredible. And I saw him open for Rogan years ago in New Orleans, and he smashed.
the delivery when he was doing it, you could tell he's like, I have so much to say, I have to just get it all out.
I like the Liver King one. That one fucking killed me. The King. It's funny when other comics get a standing O.
Dude, he said earthquakes on his feet, I'm killing.
Yeah, I'm killing. Yeah, so you know you are. And when you say that, and for the people that know, they're like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, my
But
God.
for that joke, hell nah, it. But
Somebody
when
commented-
Nikki got her standing O, you see the other comics that didn't get the standing O. You know, it kills them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, because there's the whole thing, yeah.
Because it's like she goes and sits back among all the other comics, and everyone is standing, applauding, and that's kind of like the end goal of every comedy performance is a standing O, right? So
I
it's
thought
like,
Schultz would have been better, but I don't think it was that he did worse. I think that Nikki and Tony overshadowed it.
yeah, and Schultz didn't. He didn't really have that long of a set, did he? Did he have a full length?
Will
one?
Ferrell had a ton of time.
Yeah, because it's like that's. Again, this is for all of the world.
He was
to
also
watch, all
as
of
Ron
America.
Burgundy. I don't know if you saw it,
So so it's a whole like it's a thing. It's 3 hours. That's just a thing to keep people watching, to lighten it up a little
True,
bit.
yeah.
A fun character.
One thing
It's
I
almost like a
loved.
commercial.
One thing I loved is Julian Edelman went up, and
Who's that again?
He was a receiver for Brady. He's like a white Jewish receiver.
Yeah.
And
White Jew.
Yeah, Brady always had the whitest dudes on the team. They always had the whitest team in football.
Yeah, he said that's why Schultz he doesn't pass black guys.
Literally never did.
Yeah.
Only Randy Moss. You had to be like a Hall of Famer. But Edelman goes up and it was like talked a lot about Dick, and Kevin Hart goes up after him. He's like, "What is it with you white boys and all this shit?" He's like, he looked at the players behind him. He's like, he said to one of the black guys, he's like, "How many of those jokes they make of you?" And then they were all struggling. He's like 0. Because as soon as he went up to those, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me with that shit."
Yeah.
You gay ass shit.
Oh, I know what that is. Like everyone's grabbing each other's shit. It's the locker room
Just
shit.
white dudes.
It's so funny when Tony goes, he goes, "Nikki, amazing. Where was that your entire career?"
That's what I mean.
I was like, that's hilarious.
That's what I mean.
She was on fire. That was like, the stars aligned. That was an amazing set.
It was.
Tony killed. I wish Tony just went up and did it rather than being like, "I'm here with Dana White," and that little thing kind of took away from it.
Could not agree more.
I was like, just let him go up there and do the fucking. If he did that, I think I would have agreed with you, just from like the energy of it. But I'm also.
That occurred to me because I was talking to my buddies, and my one buddy's like, "I thought Nikki was better," and I thought to myself, I wonder if it's because that first
Nikki went up, got a solid.
Yes.
It's like you hosting and transitioning into comedy and being like, the host was the best. You're like, no, that other act.
I'm talking about Tony's. As soon as he
Started walking up.
Well, as soon as he starts roasting people,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that those jokes might be some of the greatest.
Yeah, no, the Rodney, the king. That one's like, yeah, he smashed that.
I think my favorite comment, because I feel it's true. Not that I don't like Andrew Schultz, but one of the comments when that clip was up is Schultz slapping Tony's leg.
Yeah.
And it's Tony's the clip, but you could see Schultz, and the top comment was, "God, Andrew Schultz just has main character syndrome." And you're like, he does, but that's why people like him.
Yeah. I mean, if you have side character syndrome, I think that's just what solidifies in your life a little bit.
The
You know what I mean?
cringiest shit of that roast for me was anytime the comics got roasted, they were very cheesy.
Oh, you have to.
But like Schultz was like, "Oh, his side profile looks like this," and then he would be like this.
Yeah. Well, she goes.
"Oh, that's so cheesy, man."
Nikki
Just laugh.
goes,
Just laugh.
I know. Nikki goes. And Kevin Hart, she went so hard at Kevin Hart, he just kept standing up. That's all you could do, right?
Yeah.
But she goes, she just hates Schultz, I think.
Yeah.
She goes, "You fucking carny, I hate your." It wasn't even, it was just mean. It wasn't even like a joke. She's like, "You carny face, I hate your fucking comedy." He's like,
Yeah, that's
and then it just
cringy.
kept moving. I was
That's
like, "Oh
cringy.
my god!"
I'm like, dude, just
you
laugh.
know, there's like, and she was sitting right next to him. I think, huh?
Yeah.
The roast energy is crazy, man. That energy to just be up there, and be like, "This is fun." It's like, I'm not to fuck you up when I go. I have all this shit for you.
I thought Jeff Ross was like, of the comedian quality people, one of the weakest.
And it's the opposite of how it usually goes.
Yeah.
For many roasts, you're just waiting for the roast master to go up and fucking nail the thing down.
Yeah.
I think he's just like,
I think they're trying
he's
to.
just so good.
They're passing
and
the
he did it
torch a
so
little bit.
many times. I just think this was another roast for him. Whereas Tony and Nikki, for some reason, really brought it. The Drake beef and the Cat Williams YouTube. There's something about this year in the spirit of
it's
dissing
true,
and shit like that. I think they just kind of channeled that a little
That's
bit.
a really good point, actually, because I
There's
think
a lot
they
of expose this year.
they embodied 2024 the most.
Yeah, exactly. It was just high octane hatred. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bill Belichick was one of the surprising ones for me.
Like, he had writers, but I didn't listen to
His
it
energy was
funny?
just good. Yeah, he's just funny, and I think it's a lot because you don't expect him to speak.
Yeah.
How you know him is through all these interviews or just strictly talking about football. But it was good to, like the way he just brought it was good.
The owner, what was it, Robert Kraft? By the way, is his family like involved with Kraft?
Like
Kraft Foods?
I have no idea.
Can you look into that? You don't just get, is that 11 billion just from fucking officer of the Kraft Group? And Kraft is with a K rather than a C.
It doesn't feel like mac and cheese
He's-
should make you a billionaire.
Yeah, right. Look at this, $11 billion.
But Kraft dinner?
What?
Like, not just any mac and cheese.
Dana
Kraft dinner.
Blumberg. Oh, is he Jewish?
I mean, aren't all the Richies?
Is he Jewish? I was wondering.
The Kraft Group.
Yeah, I don't think it's Kraft.
Yeah, that feels like
that's money. That's like
money.
private equity.
Yeah,
the way it's written right there,
Yeah.
it looks like the White House. Wait,
The
go up.
Kraft Group.
Because he married his newest wife is something Bloomberg, which is
The
pretty
processed
Jewish, right?
cheese mogul Robert Kraft. You're like, what?
Wait, what's his Kenneth? Is that his middle name? Robert Kenneth Kraft. That's such a president. You know what I mean? Like, there's these old white names that are such president names. And they're only president names because you look at a string of the past presidents. You got to have that hard consonant name, you know? President Biden, Bush, Trump, Kraft, Clinton. You know what I mean? Obama was the only one that came in with the O. Obama. Is that his wife to the right?
But Obama's got that same.
Robert Kraft's wife, Dana Blumberg. Is she like related to the Bloomberg people?
That's his wife beside him?
That's his.
That
new
looks like
wife.
Weinstein to the
That
left
looks like
a little
his
bit. A
daughter.
younger Weinstein, doesn't it? Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're with 11.
Yeah, I guess it does.
The couple reportedly began seeing each other and have remained private. Blah, blah, blah,
I guess
blah.
if you're rich as shit, you just can't make like a 70-year-old hot.
Yeah. Is she... Wait, go up. Is she a doctor? Dr. Dana Bloomberg. Okay, nice.
Makes sense to marry a doctor when you're old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Dana!
Dana,
My hip!
you had 3 heart
She's
attacks
an
when we had sex last
ophthalmologist.
night.
What do
But
they do
thankfully, I was
again?
there. Ophthalmologist?
Yeah.
I think they
And eye and vision care. Dana!
they optimize.
It's doing that thing
Where
again.
are you?
Previously, she worked as associate professor of this. All right, so she's got her stars. She's like, who are you dating? The owner of the fucking Patriots.
Like what?
Oh, Robbie, he's a sweetheart. You don't even know Robbie.
Principal owner of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Like a lot of these, mostly the owners of these teams are like pretty diversified, right? Like they own 30-40%.
And there's the people that own. There's like an ownership group. This is just the guy that's got like the most say.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's the chairman of the board, we'll say. Acquired
Yeah,
by
like-
founded in 1960, acquired by Kraft in 1994.
I don't even
30-year
believe that
lockdown.
you are a guy like this and you haven't killed somebody or had.
You have to kill.
You have to kill.
Have you seen what Boeing is doing?
No, what's going on with Boeing? I haven't seen some
All
stuff.
the whistleblowers are disappearing.
I was talking to AJ. The one guy that was about to testify, his limbs went black and his lungs turned to water, and he died a Putin-esque Russian spy death.
Like, what do you mean? Like, in the questioning period or like bringing him
Right
there?
before in the question.
Yeah.
Right before the question.
Right before.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then the second whistleblower dies. And now the third whistleblower is like, I'm having dreams. I'm getting stabbed at night.
Jesus.
He's like, they're like, well, did you see something or no? He's like, fuck.
What are they trying to blow some whistles on over at Bobo?
Their planes are bad.
Yeah, it's like the testimony that these guys would bring forth could cost them a solid billions, like
whole
straight
company.
billions. Look, Boeing whistleblower says plane parts have.
Do we
serious
fly? Aren't all planes Boeing?
A lot of them
defects. Essentially all of them.
Yeah.
It's like that thing where it's like they're all Boeing, where it's like. That's what I'm saying. That's why you have are. Die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all of them.
That's why you have to.
You have to die.
We're too deep into this.
Yeah. At least 10 more Boeing
Well, hasn't
whistleblowers
Boeing
are ready
not-
to speak according to law firm. So now
Christ.
that's so funny. Now they're not just talking anymore. They're going to the law firm and like going into like secret protection where
They're having
they
all
have
these-
to drink like pre-marked water bottles and shit.
Everything's filmed.
Everything is filmed. Look at this. Max whistleblower Joshua Dean, 45, dead after sudden illness.
Why don't they just make good planes? Like, it feels like so much work to just kill Josh.
But it's not. There's like 10 other people that have died so far.
That's what I mean.
So his death comes 2 months after Boeing whistleblower John Barrett was found dead on apparent suicide. So he went out like Epstein.
Wow.
Okay? And this guy went out like... Yeah, like when there's... Like in Russia, the Soviet spies and shit, when they get caught, the way they fucking...
Yeah,
They're like,
the
buy
way
the
that they take the
cyanide
pill.
pill.
Yeah,
the way
James-
that they
007
disintegrate.
where they're like-
He tested positive for influenza and staph and later developed pneumonia, according to this. He was in critical conditions after he started experiencing difficulty breathing.
It's
Pretty
probably
much just like got poisoned.
it's probably
Classic
so
poison.
easy to get you like that.
Yeah,
They probably have like that shit. Like they probably have a McDonald's of like poisonous versions.
Oh, absolutely. They're
Like,
like, how do you want it to go down?
Hit
You
this
wanna-
motherfucker with a Royale McPoison.
Yeah. Like we could have him dead in 7 hours or 2 weeks. 2 weeks is gonna be easier to look. His hands and feet are black. Dean's sister-in-law wrote on Facebook, he's in the worst condition of anyone I have ever known or heard of.
Wow.
Towards the end, Dean's family wrote that he was depressed and refusing treatment. A day before he died, he underwent a bronchoscopy and made it through the procedure. The next morning, he passed away. Jesus, fuck.
Damn.
I don't know how much more. This is like classic poisoning.
Yeah.
Just classic poisoning.
Classic poisoning.
Look at this guy, man.
They've
That
never-
fucking guy. That's a healthy motherfucker, bro.
They've never moved up to modern poisoning.
Look at that hairline.
Yeah.
This guy is not gonna die out of nowhere in 2 weeks.
Especially not of the Black Plague.
Look at those fucking forearms.
Yeah.
And the goatee. This guy was a good
It
dad.
feels like he's turning you on a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
And is nobody looking into just Boeing, like, people dying?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is.
Oh yeah, they're writing about it.
Everyone is.
Because there's so like I've seen memes. Like you ever seen the tired what's his name? Who's the guy that played Batman?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, the tired Ben Affleck. People are saying like that's
Oh, like,
Boeing's.
they were like a
He's like,
star.
yeah, that's the Boeing hitman now because he's like,
Yeah, right.
Fucking exhausted. Ben Affleck, what a character. He was on that roast.
Ben Affleck was?
I fast forwarded his shit harder than I've ever fast forwarded in my life.
At a speed you didn't even know
Ben
Netflix
has
had.
nothing to say that we care about.
Well, I mean, I fast forward to anybody. All the people that I know have writers.
Yeah, like Randy Moss. You're not listening
All of
to
them.
that shit.
I actually didn't even listen to Kevin Hart stuff, to be honest.
He didn't really
I
do
did
stuff.
Nikki, Tony, and some Schultz.
They should break that shit up like YouTube does
And
on
Jeff
Netflix,
Ross.
you know?
Yeah.
I probably will.
I'm shocked they made it 3 hours though. Like, imagine being there physically for that shit. Fuck
Dude, if
that.
you're there, it was 4 or 5 hours probably.
Yeah.
Well, they're not
I mean, it was
filming
live,
the whole
so-
time, so you
Well, they
get
filmed
there
right
early.
at the beginning. Oh yeah, but like
They
the
film when
event.
the show starts, so you're probably in that building for like 5 hours.
I don't know. I think when the show ends, people file out immediately, and I think they arrive 30 minutes before.
I don't know. It's a lot of fucking people for 30 minutes. It's not like Abbas Wahab and Jordan Policicchio doing a show.
Well, check it out. Check it out. Schultz, or not Schultz, Cat Williams.
Schultz.
It's an 8 o'clock show. It goes till 11:10. It's a 3-hour show. When he goes good night, dips immediately. On the way in, between 7 to it's an arena. It's fucking 12,000, whatever the hell. It took 45 minutes for the most part. We got there 7:45. The show started at 8, so it's like I don't think people did it that much longer before. And I wonder who does the warm up for a show like this. You know?
I wonder if there even is one.
Yeah.
They might just play video and shit.
I think there has to be some energy stuff. Actually, you're right. There might not be one.
It's a dinner. I think it's also a dinner that you go to. Then it's a roast.
Wait. Look, scroll up. Boeing, click that one. Boeing 737 Whistleblower
one?
says he found hundreds of defects on plane parts every day. Is his name out there? Might as well get this guy's eulogy ready.
Feels like people are just trying to take Boeing down, though.
It's the time of taking motherfuckers down.
We'll see.
But because remember,
We'll see.
just recently the door
door
like flew off.
yeah.
Right. So then everyone's
Obviously,
like, how's-
somebody didn't pay to upgrade to premium.
No, but it's like how you have a plane and your doors flying off. Then people start investigating, and then people are like, oh well, you know.
Yeah,
But then
'cause I
it's
think-
pretty wild if you actually think about the scale that they produce products at around the world. And before that door flying off, I didn't really hear about other doors. And they're like, come on, guys, we're making all the planes in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
It was a door.
It was a door.
Fuck off. It was a fucking door.
Well, I think that in human existence, plane and flight safety is like our pinnacle of engineering.
It really is.
I think it is.
I always think that because we're right on the path of Pearson here. And I always see the flight. I'm like, the fact that you just got 300 motherfuckers on there with supreme confidence, they'll arrive and they'll go. Just through the sky, constant speed, walking up and down, getting peanuts.
Well, because I think that if there's, and there are accidents that happen, but I think if there's like a major problem, that like you just can't fly anymore. So there can never be.
Well, that's why there's
an
always
instance.
delays.
Yeah.
Because even if there's any minor mechanical whatever the fuck, they have to do 3 levels of due diligence.
But I'm
and
saying
whatever.
if like a bad accident happened on the highway that killed like 40 people,
Yeah.
we're not to stop driving.
Oh, you'd be like,
But
oh,
if
fuck.
you found out that like planes might inherently be on, you might actually, the percentage you guys could have died every time was higher than you thought, then
I think-
nobody might fly.
No, I think most people continue flying.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're going to stop flying? What the fuck are we going to do?
There's a moment in my
Take a
life.
boat.
You're just going to take
a
a boat? Like what?
Dude, a boat's kind of fucking dangerous.
If you stop flying, that means every time you do a tour, you have to drive. You have to line it up like Toronto, Montreal.
What's his name?
Thunder Bay.
What's his name? Doesn't
Winnipeg.
fly. Was that no?
Cat Williams and shit.
No.
A lot of these people don't like flights.
Bert doesn't fly.
That's crazy.
No, they'll go and they'll have their bus ready, and then they do a line of many shows with the bus. But like,
I think
you have to fly.
I think I'm weird because you know when you have turbulence in a plane for a second and you're like, oh my god, we almost died. I like enjoy that feeling for a second.
Just because like life is
Like that dropping feeling. It's the worst feeling ever, but you're like, well, that's kind
The
of
shittiness of life is coming to a wrap. It's
kinda fun.
Like that's what you like about it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that. I'm just like for a second, I'm like, hey, that was weird.
You know what?
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
When I get turbulence and I'm on the way, I'm flying for comedy. There's this weird calmness. Like, oh shit, if this thing goes down, I was on the way to a show. That's a pretty good way to go. Remember me going?
Yeah, you ever like think of like the headline? Like if
I
you're,
don't want to die going to Cancun, but I don't mind like if you go down on the way to a show, you're doing the dream,
yeah,
right?
but like your turbulence and you like see the headline, you're like local.
Like, all right.
Well, it'd be crazy if you died in a
Aspiring
plane.
comedian dies on the way to a gig.
It'd be crazy
I'm
if you
like,
died in a
no.
plane that had to happen to have somebody super famous on it.
Oh, that's kind of
And like you're
that's
like
good and bad.
You're like a footnote.
Yeah, that's good and bad because then at least there's a lot of attention on that
On the
plane
flight.
going down. Yeah, who else was on that fucking thing?
Actually, now there's a lot of
Right?
attention.
Besides fucking Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman died on a flight.
Why was he flying
All
Porter?
the people who died with Aaliyah on that flight, no one knows their names besides their family, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't want to go down on the plane death. Like, I don't want to go down like that. That's just too much time falling. Like
Yeah, a lot of time to
like
think.
waiting for the impact.
There's got to be so much piss and shit.
Oh, just in the fucking mix.
Well, people
flying
got to
around.
just be like pissing.
I'm not. Now that I think about it, if the plane goes down, I don't want this.
What?
The
Give
mask?
me the
don't want
low
this.
pressure. The low pressure, let it happen. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. I don't want to breathe and remain conscious.
Yeah, they should. It should be two options. They should drop the mask and then like fucking
It's a
something you could
gun. Yeah. Not a knife. I don't like
fucking needle.
and then dead.
Imagine they could just give you like a tablet of heroin. You're like you could take the heroin and fucking die, or you could try to breathe through it.
Cyanide would probably take 2 minutes, man. You're just like like you're gonna feel it. Like what is the best route? Because have you ever had someone choke lock you really hard?
Yeah.
You're gone in 6 seconds or
Yeah.
7 seconds. Like if they really got you.
Unless
So-
you're Nick Cage, you're gone at 60.
Exactly. That's for the people at home. They drop, the door opens, pressure plummets. There's no oxygen really in there, right? You're high altitude. It's cold as fuck. I'm not fucking grabbing this thing, bro.
But then,
Put me out. I want to hit that fucking ground. Gone.
what if you hit the ground or the water and you survive?
You're not. There's no surviving. Who's surviving?
Then why
Well,
they
no,
put-
people
why they-
survive a crash.
Yeah, why'd they put life jackets in,
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
the-
yeah.
in the plane?
That's for your idea. It's for liability. So if you are in a scenario where you could live,
Yeah.
and they had no life preservers, obviously that's a class action lawsuit on them. It's all liability. Everything they do is liability. But chances are, if that plane plummets from the sky,
That's not
you
gonna
are
just go
dying.
straight down. They
Where
might-
are the Malaysian seats, bro? Where are the Malaysian
gonna, like,
flight 480
try to-
seats?
Have people
What
ever
seats at?
survived?
Let me put this thing down.
Have people ever survived a plane crash?
Yeah, whenever they land in marshes and swamps, you ever see people falling out of a plane in a failed parachute?
Okay.
And they land in a swamp and they
Yeah.
live. Like,
Well,
it's always these swamp lands.
You know, there's that movie.
Louisiana, that's where you want your car to go down.
I think I told you
Your
about this.
plane?
That movie with Tom Hanks where he's the pilot that lands the plane in the water.
Sully?
Yeah, Sully.
Is it good?
Well, like the real story is fucking crazy. Like the guy had to just fucking like know what to do, and there's like no fucking time at
Pull
all.
up a picture of the original guy.
It's like there's no
So
time at all.
What was the nature of the issue?
Both engines
Failed. So that
as they
because
took
it
off.
become-
so,
as he took
so
off.
they're in the air maybe fucking 10,
then they become a glider in that moment.
pretty much.
So they have to fly it as a glider. Sully pilot. Look at that guy. That's Chelsea Sullenberger. Goddamn
But it's
right.
like-
Former permanent representative of the United States International Civil. That's who I want fucking piloting my goddamn thing.
Yeah,
this
so
old
he
white
had-
guy with a white mustache.
To put it down, like, you gotta put
So
it
what did
down.
he do? He landed it.
He saved everybody.
The
Nobody died.
The engines died.
Yeah.
Right upon.
And he landed it on the Hudson River.
Really?
Yeah. He had to go in between, like. So
is there footage of it, or is this a long time ago?
Oh, there's a whole thing. Watch the movie. You love the movie. They go to like prosecute him because it's like, how the fuck? Well, like what kind of? You should have tried to land in the airport and blah blah blah.
Both engines failed.
Yeah.
Landed at an airport.
All
because they were like, well,
it's funny. They tried to prosecute it, then in the end they gave him a fucking Purple Heart.
Well, because in the end they're like, our program said that you should have been able to do this, this, and this.
Hey, it's like I just want to be in that court hearing. Hey, just real quick, guys. No one died. What are we here for? Yeah. There was 0 casualties. Both engines failed. Put that on the fucking manufacturer.
Yeah.
0 casualties. Why am I not golfing right now?
The whole movie is like is him in court, is like showing the court thing, and then all these test pilots and simulations.
They're like, he should have done this.
They're
this,
able to get it into the airport, and then he goes, okay, but all of these test pilots knew the engines fail.
Yeah.
He's like, they go into the training. He's like, how many times did they have an attempt at this to do it when they got it right? And they're like, oh, like 61. And they're like, well, I had no fucking attempts. This happened to me live.
Exactly.
I had to figure it out.
And then people are like,
that's fucking sick.
That's fucking sick. This guy's a fucking G.
This is a fucking
Is there a photo?
boss.
Just let's see the photo of the thing in the water.
But I was
No
just,
casualties.
why I brought this up is,
And there it is.
there it is. He fucking landed it.
U.S. Airways Purdue honors hero pilot alumnus Captain Sully Chelsea. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. 0 casualties, and then they went in on his ass about it, huh?
I love you're saying this like you're on the football team. That's what I'm talking about, brother. No deaths.
No deaths. That's what it is, man. That's what we want. Look, the raps worked and everything. That's what the fuck.
Why I was even saying this, I was just thinking, is like, have there been instances where a plane
Because the plane is lost.
Well, has a plane fully crashed and people survive? Because like that's a fucking miracle, isn't it?
If the plane goes and it has some failure or some crazy gust wind or something, and then they fall from that type of height, maybe. I'm sure there's been survivors. But if you're 30,000 feet up, right?
Yeah, you're
Think
dead.
about this.
You're dead. You're gone. Well, the
But how
Malaysian.
does it just go straight down? Like,
No,
can
exactly.
they still,
You have it as a glider, but I think like if a wing breaks or whatever, well, Malaysian airline just disappeared. They didn't even find the.
But
fucking
didn't they hit?
Yeah,
but
but
didn't they hit
they
a
stole
mountain?
that plane.
Didn't they hit a mountain? Somebody hit a mountain once.
Those are the suicide pilots.
Well, no, I'm saying like one time I thought a plane hit a mountain by accident.
Yeah, the suicide pilot. He killed everyone on the plane just to kill himself.
Fuck.
Yeah, which makes me think: is that what fucking Kobe's helicopter pilot was? He just suicidal? Because that's what he
I
did.
doubt
He
it.
just hit a mountain, but it was foggy as
Well,
fuck.
he didn't see it.
But it was foggy as fuck.
Yeah.
That's one of the great tragedies. It would be some legendary shit if his daughter wasn't with him. The fact that his daughter was
It
with
would have
him.
been legendary if he jumped out of the helicopter and then like dunked the ball or something.
He dunked it from the
I mean-
sky. But
Now that I think about it, yeah, absolutely. If basketball was involved in the death, that's probably what
Yeah.
You're thinking of trailer, right?
Yeah. This summer,
Mamba never dies.
Mamba never dies.
Let's end this shit. Yo,
Captain Sullivan.
Listen up. We
You're in
got
America.
dates. America. Check me out. Brooklyn, June 5th. June 6th, I'm in Philadelphia. The 13th, Seattle. The 14th, Chicago. Houston. Up after that. Pull up. Tickets at abbaswahab.com.
I'm still Canadian, so June 14th.
Toronto?
Comedy Club,
Yeah, you got to say the
Toronto,
city.
Toronto, Ontario.
All right. Till next time. Peace. See ya.